My name is Justine Gallaher, and I am the co-writer, co-producer, and co-director of Motion Detected.
Well, this film has your name all over.
Yeah, it's kind of a homegrown project with me and my co-writer, co-creator, Sam Roseme. And we've been working together on a few projects, and this is the first time we actually got to pull together to do a full feature. So, pretty exciting.
Congratulations. But why this genre? Why the horror genre?
I think the horror... we're just generally horror fans, and we take a lot of inspiration from other horror things that are happening. And I think when you watch Motion Detected, it definitely lives in that horror genre, specifically kind of a home invasion sort of slashery type thing. But we put almost a sci-fi twist on it, so it is kind of a traditional horror, but we do push it into more of a sci-fi realm. Most specifically with there's an AI element. It's kind of a AI algorithm who has gone bad and is basically preying on this poor woman.
So should I question motion detectors and alarm systems now?
Well, I think you should. I'm not such a conspiracy theorist about privacy concerns and that kind of thing in my own life, but I think we read a lot about it in the news, and I think people do have these concerns about invasion of privacy at the house. And so we kind of took that and spun it on its head, like, well, what if it was really like some kind of possessed AI type thing, and it really did take you down, a rabbit hole of like social media, the things that kind of feed into when we talk about just bad things like political things now, like white nationalism, like that stuff that's like served up to people, and they go down these rabbit holes. What if it was something that was like preying on your fears, and then those fears, the AI kept giving you more and more of those fears, and until you essentially became kind of crazy and losing your mind. And that's kind of how this thing preys. So it could be a little bit of a social commentary on social media and AI and that kind of thing.
Okay, so Motion Detected. Tell me about the storyline.
So the storyline was actually pretty true to what it ended up being, the original conceit. But what we wanted it to be was a woman in a house getting preyed upon by smart home technology. And it started with my writing partner getting motion detected alerts at his own house. And this guy he's like a big guy, and he'd be like, motion detected in your back house, and he'd be like, wait, I'm really scared. And of course it was a malfunction. So we thought, that is scary, but what's driving that? And so we originally wanted it to be a smart home like you might have seen in the movie Invisible Man, where in the beginning the main antagonist is like a tech entrepreneur, right? And he's got this big fancy house. And so that movie came out right before we were writing, and we were like, that's kind of what we were looking for, a big glass and steel McMansion, just dialed out with smart home technology. Through the pandemic, when we were looking for houses, we could not find that. And we had just worked with Natasha in another short film, and she was awesome. And we were like, we want to incorporate you into this story. So we modified it, and through COVID, our options were very limited on what we could secure in a location sense. So we found this old mansion in the West Adams neighborhood down by USC, and it was perfect. It wasn't what we were looking for in terms of like being a modern house, but we made it seem as if it had been retrofitted with this new technology. So we had this original idea of a woman being trapped in a house with smart home technology, and we still pulled it off using like the location we could find, and having Natasha be Mexican American, that helped us because it was like it gave her an immediate backstory. It's like, well, let's make the thing that originally happened to her that motivated her move happen in Mexico City, and now they're moving out of that situation. So we had a home invasion scenario that happened to her, she moved, and then the AI understands what her fears are and then starts preying on her.
Well, that's great. That's a good concept. Horror, including a little bit of technology today, because we can't avoid technology.
It's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. And I think we could have even pushed it farther if we would have had, a little more money, a little more time. But we shot the whole thing in 2 weeks, and so we used an iPad to double as like the tech device. And yeah, it was very homegrown, but I think we think we pull it off. I don't know. You have to come to the screening and see.
I'll definitely have to check it out. And is there anything you can share that you're working on or potentially on the works?
This has been kind of all-consuming, just getting this out the door, getting it into festivals. So we're super excited to be premiering it finally. We have a couple of other concepts in play. Where we met Natasha was on a short called Break-In, and that premiered at another film festival a couple of years ago, right before COVID. And we have a feature written for that, and we're just looking for funding, so that'll probably be the next thing we pursue after this. Otherwise, just many projects in various forms of readiness, development. So yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on this project.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.